into my home without being welcomed into my home. Can you push my door open?
You're not?
You are not my boss.
Really?
Get that right.
Who pays you?
The sheriff does.
Who pays the sheriff? The taxpayer.
And who am I? A taxpayer.
You're a taxpayer. So
Absolutely.
Everybody makes mistakes, but what happens when officers intentionally make them just to arrest innocent people? Here are 3 crazy examples of dirty cops getting the wrong person and violating their rights. Starting off, we have an officer wrongly assuming things again. She thought a man was breaking into a vehicle and almost arrested him, not taking into the consideration that it might just be his own car. Let's take a look at this aggressive encounter.
Hey, what are you doing? Is that yours? Okay.
Is there an issue?
Well, somebody called in that you're breaking into the car, so that's why.
It's my car.
Okay.
I mean, it says L&M Computer Solution on the back of it. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you have your ID on you by chance?
it's in the car.
It's in the car? Okay.
You know?
Well, I need to make sure that you're not breaking into a car, that's all.
Don't run up on me like that.
You need to relax, bud.
Wait a second. How could the car not be his? If he literally unlocked it and took the ID out of the trunk, how did it get there in the first place? And why did he have the keys to the vehicle he was allegedly stealing? Well, unfortunately, the officer asked none of these questions and left it up to her bold assumptions. Plus, it would have been kind of obvious to try and steal the only car in the whole parking lot. However, the officer still decided to abuse her power.
Unit 44, stay over here, please.
I'm one just getting in my car.
Stay right here.
For what? Am I being detained?
Stay right here.
Am I being detained?
Yes.
For what?
For right now, I don't know if you're breaking into a car.
Exactly.
Stand right there.
That's suspicion. That's
Stop. Stop. Seriously,
Oh,
you want to
you
play?
really need to go here?
Stop.
Because you're violating my rights now.
Okay, well then you can relax until I can determine
You're
that.
violating my rights. You really want to do this? 'Cause I need your badge number. I need your badge number.
You can get our names and everything also.
Right. Because I can definitely complain about this.
That's fine. Absolutely, you can.
So, they actually placed the man in handcuffs as well, which is ridiculous. It seems like even using your own vehicle is enough to get you arrested these days. Not taking the obvious evidence into consideration, the officer proceeds to ask for further proof of him being the owner of that vehicle. It was becoming more and more obvious that this wasn't just an arrest made out of valid suspicion. It was a full-on power trip.
Let me ask you, can those keys get you into the...
No, it doesn't work.
Okay. The
That's
door...
why I'm trying to get in this way.
Okay.
It will start the car and do everything like that, but it doesn't do the doors.
It doesn't do the doors. Okay. All right. As soon as they can confirm this, I'm going to take you out.
If you look right there
Mhm.
on that keychain, it's got my dog tag right there.
Okay.
That's all of it in there.
Okay.
But like I said, now you did this, now you violated my rights. Now I'm going to have to do a civil suit against you.
Well, do whatever you need to do, bud.
All right.
But I guarantee you your cooperation would have gotten you a lot farther.
I did cooperate. I told you it was my car.
No.
Just because you tell us something doesn't mean people don't lie to us every single day.
Gabe, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He's not going to understand. Because right now you're looking for a payday is what it is.
No, I'm not looking for a payday.
Absolutely.
You did it. You
You're
made
right,
a
I
payday.
did.
You made my payday for me.
Okay,
Thank you.
buddy. That's fine.
You're a sergeant too.
You're right, I
Where's
am.
your supervisor? Let me have your supervisor over here.
In a second.
No, let me have your supervisor.
You can chill out is
Now
what you
you're
can
not
do.
giving me your supervisor when I ask you?
Absolutely not.
You're not?
You are not my boss.
Really?
Get that right.
Who pays you?
The sheriff does.
Who pays the sheriff? The taxpayer.
And who am I? A taxpayer.
You're a taxpayer, so you're
Absolutely.
my boss.
So I guess I'm a boss to you there, bud. So we're not going to have that conversation.
Finally, she received confirmation that he was not the individual they were searching for, despite her repeated allegations of his involvement in a car break-in. With this new understanding, the decision was made to remove the handcuffs that had restrained him. However, the officer didn't seem content with this resolution. It appeared that the existing drama wasn't sufficient for her, as she persisted in her harassment of the man.
Because I don't know you.
I don't know what
You're right. I'm not breaking into a car.
I'm not breaking into a car.
Okay, was that considered?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you take him out of handcuffs, please?
Yep.
Mr. Is it Porus?
It's colossal.
Oh, I apologize. Porus is your middle name.
Exactly. I'm not one of the best ones run around here.
Who said that?
Well, I mean, just,
Who said that?
I can
Stop.
see-
Just
I
stop.
can see how
Stop.
you achieve.
Stop.
Because you rolled 3 feet.
To vehicle burglary? Absolutely.
Stealing a
Here.
1998, 1998 Toyota Camry.
How much longer are you going to be here?
Until I get in.
Okay.
Is that an issue? I mean, it's a public park. The park doesn't
I
close down.
asked a question. Do you want to be that argumentative with me?
I'm just trying to point it out. You're getting argumentative with me.
I asked you a question. Maybe I was going to offer you some help, sir.
No.
But you don't need my help. You got it.
I'm almost got it.
Okay. All right, we can stand by with you.
Even after the investigation had concluded, and it was clear he had no connection to the crime, the officer's unsettling behavior continued. She positioned herself next to the car, her gaze fixed intently on him, causing him further unease in what was already a distressing situation.
For what purpose?
Because it's the public park. If you want to go tonight, you can. Thank you.
Now, if you thought this man's rights were violated, wait till you see this next encounter. Sometimes officers just love harassing people standing on a random public property and recording their surroundings. It's a very common theme amongst those power abusers. This time, though, the man recording was too smart for the officers and decided to test them a little.
What's going on, bud?
Not much.
You all right?
Yeah, just taking pictures.
What's going on? We take pictures for your just personal use?
Yeah.
Well, where do you live at? Hey man, I'm just asking, man. We're normally gonna have people taking pictures.
No, I'm just taking pictures of the scenery, that's all. I mean,
Got an ID on you, man?
I do.
Can I see that, please?
Why?
As soon as the officer approaches the man, he starts with his unlawful actions. He demands an ID, even though the auditor is not obligated to provide it. Let's see how this plays out.
Because you're on private property.
It's public. It's a police station.
Okay. I just need to identify you, see who you are, man.
For a purpose.
To see who's taking pictures here.
Is that illegal?
It's not illegal, but you are here on our property.
It's public property.
So we can ask you to leave. We can ask you to do stuff. We have that authority.
Okay. So can I free to go?
No, I need to identify you, like I said.
It's not illegal. I mean, unless you're accusing me of a crime, then I will give you my ID.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. People do bad things to police department. I know you record. That's cool. I don't have a problem with that.
No, that's fine. No problem.
Okay? However, when we see people taking pictures of stuff that they don't normally do, we're just going to identify you, see who you are, and then you're free to go.
The police officer fabricated details with the apparent intent of infringing upon the man's rights. The officer's justification was twofold. He claimed that the man was situated on private property and legally obligated to disclose his identity. However, both of these claims were starkly inaccurate. As the man was not engaged in any criminal activity, there existed no legal obligation for him to provide identification. In light of these facts, it became evident that the officer's grasp of the law was questionable at best. Plus, they were standing in a public area. In a baffling turn of events, the police officer made a rather ludicrous claim. He expressed his supposed worry that the building they were near might explode unexpectedly. Additionally, the officer astonishingly declared that harboring suspicions was equivalent to committing a felony. This assertion formed the basis for detaining the man in question. However, the man was quick to correct the officer's misconceptions. Patiently, he pointed out the flaws in the officer's reasoning, attempting to set the record straight. Yet, these corrections seemed to have an unintended consequence. The officer's ego appeared to be triggered, resulting in a display of power-hungry behavior. To the man's surprise, this escalated to the point where the officer placed him in handcuffs.
Well, I was taking pictures of the plants in front of the station.
That's cool, man. You have that. You have that right. Okay, you really do. However, I need to identify, see who you are, in case something does happen. The building blows up, or whatever the case may be.
Like I said, if I'm not committed of a crime, if I'm not committing a crime, then I don't see any reason for showing you ID.
You can either show me an ID, or I'll place you in cuffs, or fail to identify.
Failure to identify?
Yeah.
Do you know what failure to identify is?
I do.
I have to be detained first.
Okay.
I have to be lawfully detained first before.
You are being lawfully detained.
What crime am I committing to be detained?
You're committing suspicious activity.
Is being suspicious a crime?
Do me a favor. Try this man in your back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Not resisting?
No one said you are.
Just saying. Searches. You do realize this is not normal behavior, right?
So by now, just about every right of this man has been violated. He was detained and placed in handcuffs, both for no valid reason. But that wasn't it. The officer was ready to perform another illegal activity. Take a look.
I don't agree to searches. I don't agree to searches. Come on, man.
Relax, man.
I don't agree to searches.
Relax, dude. Relax.
You violated my civil rights.
Nobody's violating your civil rights.
Are you familiar with Title 18?
Nobody's no one. You know what? You need to relax.
Nope. I'm just making sure. Are you familiar with it?
They want spot. You start with civil rights.
Are you familiar with it?
Spread your feet, man. Just make sure you got no weapons on you.
After a brief period, the individual's restraints were removed, and he was granted the freedom to leave. However, this doesn't negate the fact that his rights had been clearly infringed upon. It appeared that the officer's actions were not driven by a legitimate legal basis, but rather by a desire to establish dominance over the individual.
We got 3 police officers over here, SUV here, officer there, all for filming the Round Rock Police Station. But I'll just go ahead and tell you guys, I'm actually go around and I do this to other police departments. It's called a First Amendment test, and I'm pretty sure you guys already know. So I'm just letting you guys know. Obviously you weren't aware enough.
This might have been a crazy case, but not as crazy as this next one, where an officer literally kicked the door into a woman's house without having the permission for it. This officer was called to the scene, not by an usual caller, but by a teenager, for kind of a strange reason. Apparently, his mother kicked him out of their house. When an officer named Casey Barnum arrived to the scene, the mother of the teenager who had just called the police had just arrived home. But to everyone's surprise, she actually admitted to not allowing her 16-year-old to enter their house. The reason behind that, though, was kind of surprising. Her son was a troublemaker and had an active warrant for his arrest. See, that wouldn't be a problem if the woman didn't have 2 small children at home as well.
Hello.
Hi.
So we're getting a call from your son saying you guys are kicking him out.
I actually just got home. He has a warrant out for his arrest.
Right.
Out
for
of...
possibly for not doing court or something.
Yep, that's right. Yep, that is right.
He's calling us saying you're kicking him out of the house.
I just got home from court, like literally just walked in the house. It's been my sister, and he actually hasn't been allowed in my house because he did this the last time, and I had to do a well check because I was at work. So I did tell her not to open the door if he came back, if I'm not here. Okay, well either way, he has warrant out for his arrest, so you guys can deal with it. Okay.
While on the phone, the woman shows the officers their door, which is obviously damaged. What she's trying to say is that her own son tried breaking into their house, thus damaging the front door. She then tried closing the door, saying farewell to the officers, but this happened instead.
Here, I'm gonna come outside.
He's not coming going to flat for that.
Okay, it's not a warrant for that. It was a warrant today because he failed to show up for court. So let me explain to you, officer, what's been going on, okay? So first off, he's kicked my door down before.
Okay.
The whole entire thing. The other day I was at work, and I can't leave work to come and see what's going on. I have small baby children here, and he did this to my door while I was gone. While I was gone, not while I was here. So I did a well check. No, please hear me out first, because I know exactly where you're going with this. Okay? So I asked him on his birthday, which was Tuesday, to get his butt home.
Okay.
He failed to come home. I don't know if he told you that or not, but he failed to come home.
The officer actually didn't allow the woman to close the door and asked her to talk outside. She then again showed him the door and the damage that's been done to it. However, she points out one important piece of information. Her son was actually ordered to come home, but didn't appear when they told him to, so it wasn't all her fault.
Okay, so he went to my sister-in-law's house and has been there since. And I told him, if you're not here by Friday morning in order to go to court, Trey, I'm going to court on my own. Which I did this morning. I went to court on my own. Okay? So he has warrant out for his arrest out of out of Adams County right now for failure to appear. And the judge specifically told me, I told her everything that happened, as I'm telling you.
Okay.
And am I kicking him out now? Yeah, he has a warrant out for his arrest. He's not welcome in my home until he gets that taken care of.
So, the mother is making kind of a valid point here. Her son failed to appear in court and has an active warrant, and because of his behavior, she wants him to sort things out first with the law before he can come back. It's partially hard and partially easy to understand her situation here. Counter to Ms. Perez's perspective, Officer Barnum held a different viewpoint on the matter. He asserted that Ms. Perez lacked the authority to expel her son from their shared residence in the manner she had chosen. According to Officer Barnum, her son was well within his rights to react strongly to this situation, and even take drastic measures like breaking down the door.
Okay.
Okay.
You can't do that.
Yes, I can. He's a fugitive. Yes, I can.
You can call. Listen.
Yes, I
listen.
can. What?
I listen to you.
Okay, what?
You can call us if he comes, but you cannot say you can't come in. And if you lock him out, he can kick your door to get in because he lives here.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. He may not kick my door.
Okay.
Okay?
If you lock him out, he can.
Okay, I didn't lock him out. My sister did. If he is being a havoc, well, my sister is here babysitting my children. He is not welcome here.
She needs to call us. You can't kick
Oh,
him
we
out.
did call you. We did call. We did a well check. The officer came and you can check that.
Okay.
The officer came and did that. He hasn't been home since until today.
Okay.
Today he was locked out again, and the reason that he was locked out was because I wasn't home. When I'm home, then he can come.
That's not how this works.
According to Ms. Perez, her son had essentially become a fugitive because he hadn't shown up in court, leaving an active arrest warrant hanging over him. It's worth emphasizing that aiding a fugitive, irrespective of one's relationship with them, was against the law and could lead to being charged with harboring a fugitive. Faced with this reality, Ms. Perez opted to continue her discussion with Officer Barnum, choosing to head back to her home for further conversation. However, the officer went after her again, even though he didn't have a warrant to step into their house. Her arguing then led to her being arrested, and the situation got very messy, with the officer making up one lie after another.
No, that's not how, ma'am. Listen, that is
You
not how.
need to leave out of my house.
Stop.
I am. You do not have any permission to go into my
Stop.
house. You're under arrest.
Stop.
warrant.
You're under. Because you just shoved me.
I did not shove you. I told you
It's
to
on
get out
video.
of my house. I told you to get.
It's on video.
You have no right to come into my home.
It's on video.
Comb my hair. You have no right to come into my home.
Shoved me.
What did I shove you for?
Did I just tell you?
What
It's all
did
on
I shove
camera.
you for? What did I shove you for?
We can talk about
What
it in court.
did
It's
I
all on camera.
What did I shove you for?
Do you have any weapons on you?
What did I shove you for? I work for Weld County government.
Okay.
Do you think I have weapons on me?
Okay.
Get off of me now.
Come on.
Sir, I'm not under arrest.
Yes, you are.
For what?
I just told you shoved me. Come on. Come
I'm
on.
not going to tell you then. Let me go. This
You're
is a
under
violation of my rights. You went
not.
into my
You're under
house.
arrest. Come on.
You went into my home. You went into my home without being welcomed into my home. Can you push my door open? Well, I was trying to go into my home. You can't. You literally opened up my door.
No, I prevented you from shutting your door.
After the incident, Officer Barnum took Ms. Perez and put her inside his police car, where she remained for nearly 40 minutes before he eventually let her go. That's a long time to be sitting handcuffed in a police vehicle without a valid reason. As anticipated, Ms. Perez took legal action by filing a lawsuit against the officer and the department. The legal process unfolded, leading to a resolution where Ms. Perez agreed to a settlement of $200,000. But not only did she win money, Officer Barnum was fired from the department as well, making it a win-win situation for the woman.